Hey guys, Corey with Famous Media, and today it's finally arrived, the D7100. So my D7100 finally arrived. I decided to get one because I loved the D7000. And then I decided I was just going to sell the D7000 and grab the D7100 because of the fantastic images that I saw, and I already knew the D7000 was great. So let's go ahead and I'm going to unbox it, and I got a review video that I'm going to be doing on this camera in the next couple of weeks. This is just my thoughts and unboxing what's inside, and I'm also going to be doing the MB-D15 unboxing video, which is going to put the link down to the bottom of the screen. It's for the battery grip for the D7100. So let's go ahead and open this up and we'll go through the specs a little bit here and what's inside. First and foremost, you don't want to lose your warranty card. Warranty card is on the top. Make sure you guys register your D7100. This way you can take advantage of the warranty, and it's in your name, and Nikon will know you have it. And if you have any problems, the 1-year warranty covers just about everything except neglect. And Nikon's usually pretty good at taking care of their customers, with the exception of the D600 issue. I don't know what's going on with the D600. I'm hearing mixed feelings. Some people have no issues, and some people are having nothing but issues with it. So aside from that, they take care of their customers, and it's fantastic. That's really their only downfall is the D600, whatever's going on with that. The D7100 manuals are huge. So I'm pretty sure that CD is View NX2. It should be Capture NX2. Nikon should be including that with cameras. D7100, D600 and above should have Capture NX2. That's just my thoughts. Next, of course, is the accessories, the charger and the battery. We'll move this aside here for a second. So now let's open up. These are the accessories here. You got your little adapter piece for the charger, the cable for the charger, which I really honestly never use ever. This, of course, is your mini micro out to USB. Of course, the charger, which is the same for the D7000, the D800, and the D800E. Of course, the Nikon strap, which I don't use because I've got my Black Rapid strap, which I eventually will put the link down there in the bottom when I finish that video. Black Rapid is the, preferred strap by most photographers, unless you're doing like real extreme sports. And of course, the EN-EL15 battery, same as the D7000, D800, and D800E, of course. And last but not least, of course, the camera. The D7100, from what I've seen, fantastic camera. And I can't wait to get to using it and seeing how she performs in comparison with the D7000. So this is the D7100. I know there's a lot of other unboxing videos out there where they pull the front cap off to show you the mirror. I'm not going to do that because I think that's, quite frankly, ridiculous. You don't open up, the front of your camera unless you're putting a lens on it. There's nothing to show you guys in there. I'm pretty sure you know what a mirror looks like, so it would be pointless for me to do that. But in any case, yeah, the menus and buttons and layouts completely changed from the D7000. The D7000 had your live view switch at the top. Well, the D7100 has got it at the bottom. They're going with this new design. All their cameras pretty much have the same layout. I got a D800E, and this layout is identical to the D800E. And with the D7000, I was kind of having to remember where the different buttons were, whereas this is identical to their new lineup. And even including the D4, most locations are almost identical as well. This follows a similar suit to the D600. The layout here is very similar to the D600 and D800E. Now, I'm going to grab the D7000 to show you side by side the differences right quick. So guys, I got the D7000 and the 7100 right beside each other. To your right, you've got the D7000, and to your left, you've got the D7100. There's many differences, but also many similarities. The body sizes are almost identical. It seems like the D7000 is slightly taller and maybe a little bit thicker, but not by much. They both weigh about the same. Now, where the big differences come into play is that the shutter button on the front is slightly angled more on the D7100. A little bit more comfortable, really not much of a difference, but it's a little bit better. It's also got a stereo mic built in. The knobs on the left-hand side are about the same, although there's a locking mechanism on the top of the D7100, and there isn't on the D7000. Now, where the big differences are, between these two cameras, number one, the record button on the D7100 is on the top, just like the D4, the D800, and the D800E. Whereas on the D7000, the record button is on the back, right here by the live view switch. You just basically flick this over to the right and it would turn on live view. Whereas with the D7100, it's just like the D4 or D800E, and you just click the live view button here and you flick it between camera or movie mode, and then when you want to press record, you press it on the top. Other than that, most of the buttons and general layout are the same for the most part. Now, the directional pad on the D7100 is slightly smaller than the D7000. I'm gonna go ahead and flip them over for you to take a look. And if you'll look very carefully, you will see that the navigation pad on the D7100 is slightly smaller to your left here. It's just a little bit smaller. There's not a whole lot of difference. It's not like it stands out, but if you're really looking, it is a little bit smaller because they had to make room for the live view switch. Now, the other big difference between the two cameras, which kind of irks me a little bit, is there's absolutely no way to get a screen protector on the D7100. It's the only Nikon camera I've ever seen, and at least out of the cameras that have been out in the last couple of years, that does not have a screen protector or a spot to put it. I don't know why they did this, to be honest. I can't stand having my screens unprotected because if something happens, the screens are not cheap. They're like in the neighborhood of $500 or $600 sometimes. So I'd rather have a $15 screen protector. And if you see the grooves, there's none at the top of the D7100 here on your left, but on your right, the D7100 has that. I don't know why they did away with that. That makes no sense whatsoever. But other than that, now Nikon is really taking video seriously with the D800, D800E, D4 all doing uncompressed HDMI. The D7000 didn't offer that. Well, the D7100 has clean HDMI out. It also has headphone and microphone jack as well, with all kinds of different features, full control of your audio levels and your headphone levels. They're taking their video very seriously over the last year or so, and the D7100 is no exception. This is a fantastic camera for video or for stills. The only real downside to this camera are two things. One, no screen protector, and two, no aperture control in live view. Now, a lot of people are talking, why is there no aperture control in live view? Well, I can explain that. Because in order to control the aperture in live view, it has to be driven. And the capabilities of the D7100, the D600, the D7000, and any of the cameras below the D800 don't have the means to drive the aperture. A lot of people are thinking firmware would update this. The firmware will not update this or fix it because it's something mechanical. They've left out the necessary components in the D7100 and D600 to drive the aperture while in live view. So if you want a camera that controls the aperture in live view, you will have to get the flagship cameras like the D4 and the D800, D800E. The rest of them will not do that. With that aside and the screen protector issue aside, the D7100 looks like a very promising camera that I'm going to do a review on, and Nikon are really stepping their game up in the video department. So that's all, guys. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I hope this has been informative about the aperture in live view. A lot of people were discussing that, so I wanted to touch base on that as well. Be sure to check out my other videos and make sure to subscribe and share my channel. And if you want to purchase this camera or anything that I've reviewed, the links will be down there in the information box. Please support my channel by using those links to buy any of the gear that I'm doing reviews on. So I hope it's been helpful. We'll see you soon in the next video. Happy shooting.